What up, YouTube? Thanks for joining us yet again. We're out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. We're gonna be working on some bushcraft. We're gonna be building some awesome meals that you guys can watch us enjoy. And probably most unique of all, we're gonna be camping next to nuclear missile silos. Yeah, there's about 8 of them in direct proximity to us. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't think a lot of folks get the opportunity to do that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching our stuff. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share to your friends if you enjoy what we're doing. And we really do appreciate you guys watching. Stand by for some awesome content. So we're back on the road, beginning of day 2. And yesterday I'd mentioned that there's a ton of nuclear silos in the state of Montana. We're actually coming up on one of them now. It'll be hard to see, but just out the window right there on the hillside, it's just a couple of poles. That's all it really is. You can't really see anything. When you get up to it, there'll be a fence by it, but there's a bunch of cameras that monitor that thing, and that's one of our Minutemen silos. We'll see if we can get you somewhat of a view of it as we come up on it, but just right there over that hill line, just off the highway here. You can see there's some transformers out there to it, small access road, and that's it. Just a ton of surveillance is gonna be sitting on that thing. This guy's trying to run into us up front, but that right there is a missile silo. When we made it back in, this is the spot I had marked on the map. It got a little narrow coming in and had a little bit of a hiccup going down this little drop off across the stream, but we made it. We're not supposed to drive on this area, but there was a cut across that comes through that was wide enough for the truck, so we skirted briefly the path, but we can definitely see we're not the only ones who have driven back here. Hey, stay out of that mud, all right? These two just about collapsed in that. We've been out here 5 minutes and they're almost disgusting. So we tucked back in. Come on, kids, let's go. We tucked back in right over here into somewhat of a shaded area, use the trees. I'm not sold on it just yet, but I don't want to drive off-road. There's somewhat of an established path here, so we're not out making our own paths. We're clearly not the first ones who have camped back here. So we're gonna get set up back here, get things in place, and since we do have some water access, we might look at doing a little bit of fishing. Camp is set. We moved a little bit. We were sitting by this big deadhead. I didn't really like that one. It could still cause some damage, but we're not going to get the brunt of it. And I also didn't want to be just tucked up right up the forest line, being that there's so many bears. So we moved up to this area here. We have this open space where we can see things coming now if we need to. And we kind of have somewhat of a natural, I wouldn't even call it that. We have a bit of a stream that sits right back behind us. There's a couple pools, one there and one a little further back, where I might have my hand at some fishing here shortly. I don't have a fly rod, which would be probably perfect for what I'm looking at. So I don't think our chances will be great. I think I have a small enough hook that I could maybe catch a couple little trout, but we'll see. We're gonna try anyway. The boys are just super hyper right now. And kind of what I got going on with the camp right now, I like to get the generator out, especially in bear country, and just run it. I have plenty of fuel, and I wanna run that thing on eco mode just to make noise, let the bears know that we're here. And then I got our power pack out. It's charging some GoPro battery, or sorry, not power packs, our small solar panel charging a power port which charges the GoPro batteries. And then up top we got our solar that runs down from the roof rack into the topper where the crazy kids are. Hey boys, don't fight with the milk, please, be good. And it is charging the power pack, which is running the iPad, and we had charged that fully last night. So we have plenty going on here for us. I'm gonna try not to use the generator unless it gets cold, but that's kind of the basics of camp. Now, if you're interested in any of this stuff, the solar panels, even the roof rack, I have a link in the Amazon, or my Amazon, the link is in the description for Amazon where I picked those up. I know people think about Amazon, shitty, chintzy garbage, but for what I spent and for what I'm getting out of it, for all this shit we're seeing here, absolutely worth it. I didn't spend thousands of dollars. I don't have the highest, you know, highest price cutting edge material, but this stuff has gotten us through up to this point. So once again, links will be in the description for those. I did do some modifications to the roof rack. I painted it myself with a rhino liner and kind of dressed it up a little bit so it didn't have the Chinese name on the front of it. So I'm gonna set a fishing line and we're gonna see if we can't catch something. If not, I have a barbecue dish that we're gonna do for dinner that's gonna require some serious preparation. It is about 11 o'clock in the morning right now still, so we have plenty of time to get that prepped. We'll need fire for that. I don't want to dedicate a bunch of time to making fire now and having to maintain it. We don't need it yet, and there's plenty of materials out here to get one going. I'm gonna toss on the other GoPro and let's go catch some fish. You get anything yet? Not yet? Yeah, hold it out here a little more, right there. That's good. Good job, buddy. I don't even know if there's any fish in here, but we're gonna try. Good job. You have to stay back or they'll see you.
Can we do this in the floor?
No, it's not deep enough. They do. Fish go up a little bit. We're not here. What's up, yo? You're out now, fine. You need to stay in the start. We're gonna make fire.
Oh, why?
So we make food?
Okay.
You like food, don't you? Alright, how'd that look? That's sufficient.
Make fire on it, Dad?
You want to make fire now?
Oh, yeah.
That'll work now.
Okay.
So wet out here. Don't need to worry as much. We already have to get fire. Pump it. So we get rid of that one.
No, Dad. Ah.
No, good night. So I broke up some wood that was laying down by the creek. It's a little bit wet, so we're gonna go find some standing dead or fallen dead and lop off some branches that are up off the ground because it has been just pissing rain. So stuff like this, let's give it the dryness test and see if it's ready. So if you know, you know. Reach up, try and snap it. And a little resistance, but not bad. Those will work. So looks like this tree, the majority of it is dead. So we're gonna take off some of these lower dead branches. Recently cut wood here, you can see, and I'm looking for, you my helper? All right, okay. I'm looking for a piece of this bark and I'm gonna try and pull it off as rounded as I can. Let's see how it goes. Are we in frame? Yeah, it looks good. So I'd peel from the bottom, try and create an opening at the bottom. All right, it's already kind of open there. I don't really need a huge piece. All right, that'll work. That's just gonna be the base of the rat's nest. That'll perform just fine. All right, kiddo, what you got? You got wood?
That top?
Yeah, bring it with, let's go. We got plenty of dead grass out here. I think I'll probably go with the cotton and Vaseline trick for those of you who haven't seen it, just to show how crazy effective it is. So the next thing I want is a tree that's alive that has a defect and or maybe a stump. I want to gather some sap off of it, or a tree that's got like some aggressive rubs on it. I'm trying to see if I can find something in here that's going to make sense. It's pretty dense in here. I'm feeling a little bit better about running into a bear now that I got the generator running. We've been here a little bit, but I want something that is a recent break. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The stump. This one's not a great example because it's been here a while, but when a tree falls, it's going to try and heal itself, and it's going to get a ton of sap that runs into these areas in an attempt to heal itself. But this has been dead far too long. Some of the more fresh stumps are really pine smelling, kind of hard, like super hard, almost like petrified wood feeling. but that's not the case there. Another great spot to look for is where an elk has been rubbing. If they disturb that bark, the bark's going to try and, or the tree's going to try and heal itself, and it's going to use that that sap to do so. But the search will continue. I'm not seeing anything fresh tipped over in here. So the fresh stuff is the best stuff, but right here you can see that pine tar formed up right there. It's pretty hard. So I'm just going to shave that off. I'm not going to hurt the live tree. I'm just going to shave some of that off and take it with. All I need that to do is when that cotton ignites, that needs to catch, and that's going to continue that fire burning a lot longer than that cotton's going to burn, which will give me a chance to get my kindling lit. So we're going to shave some of that off, take it back, and I think we're there. Once again, dead grass is the go-to. If you can find the right pine needles, those are amazing. But we have plenty of dead grass out here that sits high enough up off the ground that's not going to be saturated from our most recent rain. So pine needles and or grass, either one's interchangeable. We're going to use a bunch of dead grass, some of this pine tar, and our super dry kindling, and we'll get this thing rolling. All right, bingo on this tree. You can see the change in color where this thing is just oozing all sorts of sap. And right down here, this stuff is super sticky still. So I'm going to collect a bunch of that and dump it on our grass. That is a really good find right there. You could start a fire in a pouring rainstorm with that. All right, we got some wind blowing, so we're going to be careful about how high we get the fire. We just need a really good coal base. So here we have our pine tar right there, and that's going to be underneath our fire when it catches. We actually want that to be under it so that as the fire burns around it, it's going to ignite. We got, kiddo, there's a camera behind you. Here, here is our, what is about to be our tinder bundle. So to prep that thing, we just want to work the shit out of it. So I'll give you kind of the rundown on how that looks. So take your bundle and just roll it in your hands like this. It's going to start breaking apart, and then we just fold it over on itself and continue doing the same thing. Just roll it and grind it until you get to this fine powder. It's already starting to fall apart, and we're going to get it set on top of these coals here, or around them. All right, so we'll continue to work it and get a bunch of fibers down on that. That's what we want to see. Stuff's really hollow and breaking apart good. Just curious how damp it is. That'll be the problem. So we'll put that off to the side here. So if I wasn't going to use the cotton, that would have to catch my ember. But today I want to show you guys how the cotton works. And this is that. Look how gooey that is. That's the sap we pulled off. I want that near the top because that's going to catch good. There's a little bit more underneath there, but that's the best piece we got. So we're going to stick our cotton right there.
They found a rock.
You do have a rock.
It was in there.
Once again, be ready. We have tinder and a couple of thick sticks standing by. One of those pieces of bark that is just saturated, that this thing is just going to go up like gas damn near, and a really dry chunk of stump, super dry. And then we got all of our wood that we've gathered so far standing by. You got rock? Nice. So as we get it rolling and this kindling catches, this piece of bark is going to burn for a hot minute. So as that burns, I'll be breaking this down into smaller chunks to add to the top of it. But we have everything started and ready to go. Let's get it rolling.
Right here.
That's pokey. You might not want to touch that one, buddy. So here's our cotton. It's got Vaseline all over it. You'd be surprised at how well that actually does burn. So I just pull it apart a little bit to catch the ember.
I found a big
Give myself a nice little target to hit. Eventually one will hit.
big pieces.
Nice. Put it in the pile, please.
A big pile?
Yep. All right, let's do it. Oh, we got to use our flint rod. That knife doesn't have a good 90 on it.
So what is this, a hand? Is this a hand?
All right, here we go.
What is this for?
All right, so just like that, you see it take off. Then be standing by with your additional support pieces.
So why do we start a fire now? Why is it up now? But then I put mine in.
Not yet, buddy. We gotta do the little guys first. If we do the big ones, it makes the fire go out.
What time will we do the big ones?
As soon as these little guys are all lit.
Yeah, what's in my put the silver
See, you see how effective that cotton is, you know, in conjunction with those other materials. One strike and the thing's away. There you have it. I've left you wondering what dinner is, so let's jump into how we're doing it. We're gonna dig a hole. Once we got coals in the hole, we're gonna take some pine burrows, throw them in to give ourselves a nice green smoke and kind of let it get rolling. And then we're gonna put a fat slob of meat inside of there and devour it.
This is how I need it right here. See? This is how I need that. See? This is how I need it.
Oh, buddy. We got some baby back ribs, or some type of ribs. I don't know what kind. But we got ribs. We're going to get down on these ribs. Let's get them prepped, and let's get them ready to roll. All right, so here's the base ingredients we're going with. A little apple juice. We're going to go back to our Loot and Booty barbecue Jolly Roger jalapeno garlic. It's this black dyed looking shit that actually was delicious on a ribeye the other day. Olive oil, butter. Let's get it rolled. Nice.
Daddy?
Yes, sir.
And look what I did to this tree.
Nice, dude.
I'm tearing it apart.
Oh, well, don't do a live tree. Tear apart dead trees.
Oh, I'm tearing. I'm tearing up all these trees. They look. They look. They look. They look. We found that. Look, Daddy.
All right, there you have it. Now we'll let it sit and do its thing. We'll get a good sear on that in a couple hours. In the meantime, we're making some beef stew. Little coffee pour over. Warm me up a little bit here. I'm gonna try my hand at some fishing now that I got the boys down. There's not a great pool nearby where, you know, if you think fish would congregate, but there's a few spots I'm gonna try. I need a fly rod. Does anybody have any success with a traditional rod out in the mountains? If so, holler at me. I'm not a huge fisherman, but one would think you could get something to bite. I got worms, I've got spinners, I've got some spinners that have what looks to be like a fly on the tail. If you know how to fish, holler at your boy. Sun's back out directly behind us. Unfortunately, it's blocked by the trees, so my solar is kind of kaputs for the day. So as I sit and wait for these ribs to finish up, or that paracord to burn, whichever happens first, I'm pondering some more thoughts for videos for you guys. I'd really like to do more extreme bushcraft where I'm out here by myself, building, constructing shelters, primitive shelters, but the kicker of that is, if I do that, it's tough to bring the boys with, and I'm not willing to sacrifice that at this point. It's important to be a present father. Mine was definitely around as much as he could be. He worked in public service in the same sector as I, another law enforcement officer. And I don't regret anything he did. He was always there when he could be. And I'm doing the best I can to do the same with these two. Just building those memories, getting outdoors, showing them some of the stuff that I learned growing up. That being said, when time presents itself, I think I would like to get out and challenge myself alone. It's a little easier to do that. They're sleeping right now, so Dad's got a moment of silence and a moment of solitude. I'm just going to sit here by the fire and ponder. If you guys have anything specific you'd like to see, throw it in the comments. If you're one of my friends, don't say anything stupid, please, because, I mean, sure, why not boost the comments, say whatever you want to say, but thoughts on anything you guys would like to see in future videos. I plan on continuing these year-round into the winter as well. I'm not going to be a fair weather camper, so let me know what you want to see. Would you look at that? I am going to devour that. Looks like it's about to rain again, so let's eat. So I'm basic. I have some raw onion, which I love, pickle, and the ribs. Let's get into it. And a courgette. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's good. I'm telling you, this is living. God only knows how much this would have cost at a restaurant. That is heavenly, you guys. That rub was amazing. You can really taste that garlicky pepper taste in there. That jalapeno garlic taste. And that barbecue sausage just hits perfect. Do not forget, like, subscribe, share to your friends if you guys are enjoying this content. I'm gonna get down on these things. You want a bite of that? This kid is filthy. Take a little bite of that. Ooh, yummy. Appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna call it a night. Can you say goodnight?
Good night.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
We're gonna watch some shows, get some Z's, and then we're gonna head home tomorrow for the big boy's birthday. Happy birthday, boy. Well, we were packed and we were gonna hit the road and get out of here. It rained all night last night, so I'm a little concerned with a few portions of this road that are just gonna be nasty mud. I also have to do that stream crossing, and it is steep. I'm concerned we may get a little bit hung up, but we'll work through it. that's a wrap for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching. I think we might try and get back out Saturday into Sunday and do one more day, but it is this big kid's birthday right here. So we got to get him home to mama and family and celebrate his birthday, and then I think we'll probably pop back out. Super proud of how good they did. They're getting better at it every time we go out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.